Good morning, East Baton Rouge teachers, and welcome to a new school year. Today, we will be reviewing how you will be administering your pre-tests. You will notice that the biggest change in how these tests will be administered are how your students will access their tests. What is Edoms, IO, and Illuminate? Edoms, which we've been using over the past several years, was purchased by IO a few years ago. However, EBR continued to use Edoms in the format we originally purchased it. However, after IO merged with other assessment platforms, it became Illuminate, and EBR is transitioning to this more powerful platform. During the transition, we will continue to use Edoms. Edoms will be used for the pre-test we're about to administer, as well as for your common formative assessments. Test setup. Test setup has already been completed and the test ID numbers were sent to your benchmark coordinator for your site. As a teacher, you will generate a session ID and communicate this information to your students through Google Classroom. Remember, the students will be taking this virtually, so we are not assured that there are secure browsers. Also, these tests are not timed. The system will time out after 2 hours of inactivity, but the progress the student has made thus far will be saved. To administer the online test, you will go to edoms.com, find the tile that says Administer Online Tests. It will automatically default to 30 minutes. We are asking that you update those minutes to 120. This should give ample time for the student to complete the test. If for some reason they have not completed the test in that time, remember, you're giving the session ID. You can always generate another ID if there is very good cause to do so. We've included instructions on how to generate that session ID in case you needed that refresher. How will my students test online? Your student will need to know how to access the student portal. They'll need to have the credentials, which is their username and password, which you will provide to them. They will also need the session ID that you will generate, and then they will complete the test and submit. The portal for IO is portal.assessment.ioeducation.com. We suggest that you copy this link and put it in your instructions in Google Classroom so that a student simply has to click on this link to get to that student portal. Once they get to the portal, it's going to ask for their IO username and password. This information does not come from JCampus. It is not their identification number for anything else. It is an identification number you find in the enrollment reports in Edoms. So it should be a 7-digit number. For some of our students, they only have a 5 or 6-digit number. If that happens, you will precede the number with a 0. Or in the case of a 5-digit number, it'll have 2 zeros. It's followed by ebrschools.org. For the username, it must be 7 digits. If you have a student with less than 7 digits, add zeros so that you get to 7 digits. For the password, you do not add zeros. It's simply with the password that's listed on that enrollment report, followed by their birthday in a 6-digit format. The student will then get to this page, which will ask them to click on Take Test Online. Once they do that, the next screen will ask for the session ID. They will put in that ID number that was provided by you and then click Start. They will complete the test but please emphasize that they must hit submit. What are some things you may be asking questions about? Some of the things you will need are the enrollment report, student credentials, and then we'll review a couple of troubleshooting questions. If you go to edoms.com, you will find this enrollment report tile. Click on it. It will bring you to this screen, which automatically generates your school, and it should have the information at the teacher level for you only, because you can only see your students. You will click this green button to the bottom right that says Generate Report. Then it will show you your students, and to the left of their names will have their student ID number. You can see even in this example, the first student has 7 digits, but the second student only has 6. How will you communicate these credentials to your students? As I said, you'll generate an enrollment report. You will identify those student ID numbers. Then you'll use private messaging, include Google Classroom, to share the ID numbers with your individual students. You can also post the student-facing slides in Google Classroom to assist students in logging in and taking the test. What happens if your student can't log in? Your first order of business is to confirm that they are using a 7-digit student ID number. And I've put a reminder here in red. If it only has 5 digits, add 2 preceding zeros. 6 digits, add 1 zero to the username only. Do not add zeros to the password. I've provided the accountability contact number. Your first chain of command would be to talk to your site leader. If they are not able to help you, they will contact accountability and will be able to assist you. Once the testing window has ended, if some of your students fail to submit, you can contact us and we can get those tests mass submitted. Also, if a student accidentally submits before they're finished the test, you can contact us to unsubmit the test. We are here to support you and assist you. Please do not hesitate to contact our office if we can be of any assistance. And we hope you have a successful and happy year. Thank you.